All right, where are we starting?
Should we start with some booze, some drinks?
Start nothing like kicking off a Wednesday with
That's
a little.
what the show was yesterday.
With the fire water.
Right?
Yeah.
Exactly. Let's jump in right now.
Let's
They're
oh,
standing by. Hey, you guys, good to see you.
At least we got them from the green room.
We're on our way over. Yes, good to see you.
All right, we got Ian, we got Sam, we got Aaron,
Go.
and you got a bunch of brown water.
Yes.
Really delicious.
Right
Yeah,
you're
go
good.
right ahead.
We'll squish in. We'll just squeeze.
Nice to see you guys.
There we go.
All right, we have a bunch of here. We got to talk about a whole bunch of different things, but I guess who wants to kick it off? About I know we have a special drink, a special type. You want to start? You want to get us going?
Sure. So I'm Ian Sturzman. I'm the master distiller of the Ross and Squibb Distillery in Lawrenceburg, Indiana, and we are one of the America's oldest and largest distilleries. And we focus on high rye bourbons and rye whiskeys. We're the leading distiller of rye whiskey in the U.S. And these are our brands. So we have our Remus bourbons right here and our Rossville Union rye whiskeys right here.
Got it. All right.
Awesome.
Wow, that's incredible.
All right, well, Sam, tell us about Bourbons and More. Tell us what that place is all about. What you have.
We are located in Rockland, Roseville, Bourbons and More.
Yeah.
And we have all these products available all the time. And this month we are running special.
Yeah,
Buy one bottle and second one you get for 50% off.
I was going to say there's a 50% off deal on there.
50% off, second bottle, yes.
And people love their bourbon. I know that. They care for it greatly. Aaron, I know that you tell us your involvement in all this. Why do you get to play in this
I work
space?
for Luxco,
Yep.
which we represent George Remus and Rossville and Green Hat.
Very good.
And I manage the state for on-premise for California.
Very nice. Well, welcome in. What a great trio to have.
Isn't that awesome? I like that. All right, we got to talk about the Ross and Squibb a little bit more about your distillery and about what are your top ones you got?
Yeah, so our distillery started 1847. So we've been making whiskey for a very long time, and these are our top bourbons. Okay. So this is our Remus Gatsby Reserve. And the whiskey I picked for this, the barrels I picked for this are going to be all at least 15 years old. Okay. So it's a very special bourbon. It's very giftable, a great special occasion bourbon.
That takes
comes in this kind of beautiful Art Deco box.
An incredible amount of patience to do this. Anything, you're waiting 15 years.
15 years. Like you put it together, then you got to wait that long?
Yeah.
That's how it works, huh?
What an art.
And then this is our Remus Repeal Reserve, which is another special allocated release we do once a year. And the bourbons that go into this are going to be anywhere from 8 to 16 years old, and it's going to be a little different mix every year.
Okay. So wow, and and people who are bourbon aficionados, you taste the difference, right? I mean, there are subtle, but then probably drastic differences between some of them, I would assume.
Absolutely. Every barrel of bourbon out there is going to be different. So when we come up with these combinations of different barrels, every year is going to be a little different.
So good.
Unbelievable. I said, tell us a little bit about a little bit more about your company, what you got, what you're representing.
Well, Luxco, we represent numerous whiskeys and tequilas, George Remus being one of our top representations, but we also represent brands like Yellowstone. We have Ezra Brooks, David Nicholson, Rebel bourbons are all in our portfolio. El Mayor tequilas.
So are you the one that gets to tell us why George Remus is the king of the bootleggers? I guess it says that right there.
He can tell you.
He can tell you better than I can.
The king of the bootleggers. It says it right there on the box.
So he was the biggest volume bootlegger during Prohibition. He's not as well known as some of the more violent guys out there, but he was the biggest volume bootlegger during Prohibition. And what he did was he was a pharmacist and an attorney. And so he found loopholes in the law, and he moved down to Cincinnati, Ohio, because that was within a couple hundred miles of most of the big distilleries at the time. And he started buying up distilleries during Prohibition for cheap, and then he would bring whiskey out of the warehouse under medicinal purposes, under medicinal licenses.
Right? See?
Take 2 of these and call me in the morning.
And then he would rob his own trucks as they left the distillery, and then he would get more medicinal permits to pull more whiskey out.
What an incredible story.
Well, see, these guys, the guys that deal with the bourbon and the whiskeys have the greatest stories.
They really do.
But now, it seems like it's getting really popular now. We're finding different shops that are around where you can kind of hang out, relax, and sip different bourbons, almost like wine tasting. Now you're bourbon tasting. It's kind of really gone.
It's a culture.
Upscale now.
Yeah, business has been good. I mean, some of these, the Remus Repeal Reserve, it's like a hunted bourbon now, especially in our part of the country, where as soon as it's released every year, it's pretty much gone. It's hard for me to find, and I make it. So.
Did you just come in from Indiana, by the way?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just for this.
Yeah.
Just for this.
Sam's like, come and be on TV with me.
So well.
Hey,
what people do.
Sam, one more time. You're up in Roseville. Tell people a little bit about the shop.
Yeah, we have all the allocated bourbons which are very hard to find.
Yeah.
And you can find those at our shop. We are located in Rockland and Roseville. We have 2 locations.
2 of them. Let's
So,
go.
Yeah.
More
And
chances.
it's more than
And
just
even-
bourbon there, though, too, right? You got a lot of alcohol.
This is just a part of it.
Okay, got it.
Yes.
This is just a little
Just a
portion
small
of it.
This is just a little
Sam
portion.
doesn't mess around.
No, he
No,
doesn't.
he does not.
Ian, Sam, Aaron, thank
Yep.
you guys so much. That was
Thank
great.
you.
Thank you.
I felt like we got a history lesson right there too. That was terrific.
We are always going to.
You see all the information there about bourbons and more. Our good friends on the show have been on a couple times. It's always great. I feel like we get smarter about bourbon each time.